Hello and welcome to our Cellercise program. I want to thank all of you for sharing this week and all the great customer reviews that came in, for all the words of encouragement, for using the Mr. Rebounder app, and we've had some great comments on that. It's certainly nice to have it up and running. Now we've got upgrades that we're going to be doing, as I mentioned, and we're looking forward to those upgrades. But the whole objective, when I came up with the Mr. Rebounder app, the idea was that not everybody can do the same movements or same routine to the same intensity. We're all in different places, and that's good. We want to grow, and we want to be able to have fun doing it. I don't want to work out. I want to play in. And that whole idea was the app. What can we do to make it fun? And we're going to have more features, and it's going to be a lot more fun. So the objective again is, why work out when you can play in? And with Cellercise, hey, as we know, we play on it and it works on us. So Christine, welcome. Do we have, well, let me share some customer reviews first. Okay. Yeah, and then we'll answer some questions. Okay. So thank you. Thanks for being here. Okay. Where'd the ones that I had go? Oh, right here. That looks good too, though. Say hi, guys. I'm a Cellercise user since August 12th. Have been Cellercising 1 day short of 1 month, and I am super excited about the improvements in the way I feel, the strength, the stamina, the energy levels, the better posture, the less aches and pains, the better mood, etc. I'm very excited also on what is to come, because I'm still going slow and giving it time for the whole body to adjust and strengthen. Thank you. And that's from Juan. Thanks, Juan. Okay, I want to talk about a few of these. So this one here, I'll read that. That's some of the questions. This is from Melody. Melody says, at my last chiropractor visit, as she was checking my hip alignment, she asked, what do you do? I thought she was going to say that there was something wrong. She said, no. Your hips and pelvis are in great shape and alignment. I told her I use the Cellerciser rebounder. When I was at the chiro a few months ago, a different chiropractor was adjusting me, and she said, wow, you're flexible. Do you do yoga? Nope, sure don't. But I use the Cellerciser. One of the neat things about the Cellerciser, and thank you, Melody, is that the movement up and down causes all the tissue, the ligaments, the tendons, the muscles, connective tissues, to gently be massaged. So you're not tearing, you're literally increasing flexibility and circulation, and it's automatic. It's a byproduct of what Cellercise does. Now you can do those other modalities if you'd like. In fact, if you Cellercise and do yoga, you're going to get better results, because your body's going to be more balanced, so that you'll get better results from your yoga program. All right, I want to talk about a couple more that have been around a long time. Some people have said that they're having a hard time with the app on a particular type of unit. And that's because of how we designed the Cellerciser to create resistance and movement, but not be too soft. Now I'm going to try to read this without telling you what kind of unit it is, but it's important you understand that if you do these exercises and you are noticing ankle problems or knee problems or hip problems and they're getting worse, it could very well be pronating, because it's just not giving enough support or resistance in the actual movement. Is my mic on? Is it all right? Yeah. Oh, good. Okay. All right. Here's a review with regards to a company that I've worked with. After much effort, they agreed to refund me most of the money as long as I waive all rights to sue them. How can I be the only one that has had a problem with this rebounder? I'm also an experienced rebounder user, and I'm accustomed to the exercise. I've been rebounding for many years. I wanted a new one. After much investigation, I discovered the two most expensive. The Cellercise was one of them. The other one was more expensive, so I bought it thinking it should be the best. No way, it's worse than anything else I've read. It immediately hurt my feet, specifically my arches, because it made my feet pronate inwards. That's a unit that's too soft. Fun to jump on, but for exercise purposes, that's different. I tried many variations of bouncing, barefoot, anti-pronating runners, etc. No luck, still hurt me. The bungees also frayed after 1 week. It cost $75 to replace the bungees. The Cellerciser, no difference. So next I bought the Cellerciser. This one was perfect. It had a nice soft bounce, but not too deep. And the pad moved downwards with my feet rather than tilting into the center. I can easily jog or bounce high or low because the pad seems to adjust with the exercise. It's the best. Many thanks. Thank you, Nick. Okay. This one I want to talk about because there's people I get comments from all the time. They say, can I exercise? I have a pacemaker, or can I exercise because I have other health issues? And I always have to say consult with your doctor or health practitioner. But one of the things that I shared with you early on was in a previous program was when I was doing my business plan. They said, David, who's your target audience? And I said, people, and they laughed and they said, no, you need to narrow your audience. And I looked back at them and I said, no, you need to broaden yours. Because if you could see the blood chemistry of most people when they wake up in the morning especially, as the body becomes acidic, because of the foods, dead processed foods, environment, electromagnetic fields, things we're being exposed to in our day-to-day activity. When the blood cells get sticky, they don't circulate as well, they don't have access to oxygen nutrients as efficiently, and so even the blood cells under microscopes start and they become a little more deformed looking. Well, it's harder for the heart to pump sticky blood cells through the capillaries to the brain, the blood vessels of the eye, and other areas of the body. So it's important that we open up the circulatory channels, but one of the things that we found on a Cellerciser is that within 3 to 5 minutes, and we tested this a number of times, as we move up and down, we're weightless over 100 times a minute. And at the bottom of the bounce, we apply more weight to the cells. Well, the blood cells are no exception. So as we're moving up and down, the blood cells are expanding and contracting, and they literally help to increase fluid movement through the membrane. But the blood cells also have what's called a sodium-potassium pump. They're positively and negatively charged just like a battery. So as we're moving up and down, the blood cells generate a field of energy around them that you can see under Kirlian photography. And we've done this. The blood cells become energized, imbibed, oxygenated. They literally have more fluid in them, so that now it's easier for the movement up and down to move individual blood cells back through the capillaries. They're not sticky anymore. And that's why I look back at them, I said, no, everybody should be Cellercising. They just don't know it yet. And that's our job. We all get to share it with them. But with that in mind, I want to read to you a customer review, which is really special. It's from Camille. And she writes, she says, thank you, David, with 5 exclamation points. So she's pretty excited. I was too after reading this. A valve in my heart went bad and I was seeing a cardiologist. I had to have several tests done as the valve worsened. A nuclear test was performed and I was at 52%. I was so weak and achy. It was very hard to do my job at UPS, unloading trucks and working. But one day a gentleman picked up a package and inspected it at my office. It was one of our customers picking it up. It was one of your units. I was so impressed, I got one too. I jumped to save my life, and I certainly did not want open heart surgery to replace my valve. Didn't have time for that. I am pleased and happy to say after jumping for several months, another nuclear test was performed. I was at 70%, exclamation points. My cardiologist asked what I was doing. Jumping on your trampoline was the only thing I was doing differently. She said 70 was the low end of the normal range and I didn't need surgery anymore. I have continued to bounce because if I stop, remember sticky blood cells? If I stop, I do find my heart weakens again along with several other symptoms of poor circulation. So I bounce to keep my heart strong and my feet pain-free. I continue to work at UPS and have gotten a second job too. People are always commenting on my spirit, energy, and youthfulness. I'm 52 but look younger. I'm so very thankful to God for directing you to do what you have done. I know you were sick for a while and that the illness prompted you to begin your journey with rebounding. He truly does use everything together for good. I tell everyone I can about rebounding and about your Cellerciser. Again, thank you so much. May God keep blessing you. Camille, some things are worth repeating, and that's one of them. So if you know somebody who has circulation problems, of course, have them check with their doctor. But understand that Cellercise is excellent in helping to promote and increase circulation. Okay, so what we're going to do tonight is we're going to create a routine on the Mr. Rebounder app. So we're going to do that on the iPad, so that we can see it, and then it's actually, it transfers directly to my phone as well. So when it's saved, I can actually do the routine on my cell phone. So everybody knows who has a Mr. Rebounder app, and those who don't, you can still do the routine with us when we're done, because we're going to put together the routine, and then I'm going to follow along with that. The Cellerciser is fun. There's so many different things that we can do with it. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to give a description to the program, and I'm going to go back real quick so that we'll go to the home button, and I created one last week, but cancel, go back to the beginning to home. There we go. Okay, so we're going to go to the create your own workout screen, and then we're going to write a description up here. So we'll call it Facebook Live 1. And you can do your own as well. And now we're going to save that, and we're going to add, well, we don't have to save it yet. We're going to add movement. We're going to start off with the health or baby bounce, and we can do that for 30 seconds or a minute. I've got it set up on mine, so I'm going to have it for 30 seconds as a warm-up, because it's later in the day. I'm not starting off first thing in the morning. So I'm going to add that. Movement has been added. It's going to take me right back. Now we're going to do, let's do the hip rock for 30 seconds also. So those who have hip issues, we're going to warm up the hips and increase circulation to the hips, which is very, very helpful. So we're going to add that. Okay, then we're going to do let's do the jogging. We're not going to do the sprint intense, but we'll do the sprint moderate, which is right here. So now we're going to add that. We'll do it for, let's do that one for a minute. Now if you can't do a full minute, then please just do the health bounce, or go right back to the baby bounce until we go to the next movement. But we're going to add that to the workout. And then we're going to go and after we do the fast movement, let's do the we'll do the health bounce again for 30 seconds. And then we're going to do some power breathing. We're not going to do that for 30 seconds. You only want to do that for like 6, a count of 6 to begin with, because that increases a lot of oxygen. We don't want to get too much oxygen, get dizzy, or work on our lungs too much. But the increase of oxygen is going to help increase our metabolism so that we can burn more calories. So we're going to add that. And then let's do the Jamba walk. And we're going to do the Jamba walk for a minute. So I'm just going to click this up. And again, if a minute for the Jamba walk is too much, just stop and do the health bounce or baby bounce until we go on to the next movement. So we're going to add that to the workout. And then let's add the ski patrol, which is going to be jumping side to side. And let's do that. We'll do that tonight for a count of 30 now. And then we're going to go back and let's do the Jamba walk again. Because we're going to be burning a little bit of calories here, which is good. So at the Jamba walk, we'll do that one. Let's do that one for 30 seconds this time. Okay, and then let's do the walk for 30 seconds, which is also going to work on the hips as well, but it's a little more gentle as we're gaining our breath. And then let's do the stomach run. Now the stomach run, as you can see, is when you're leaning back, and so we're going to be working on the stomach muscles more. I don't want to do the kick-outs yet because ligaments and tendons around the knees and the hips, we want to build those up, and I don't know where you're at, so we're just going to add this one. And then we're going to do when that one's done, let's do the twist. Often you'll want to just go do something real easy. So this one's pretty easy. Lets you catch your breath. And again, it's working digestion, elimination, the smooth muscles, the colon, the intestines, and loosening up the lower back all at the same time. We're going to add that for 30 seconds. And then let's do, for those who are ready, we're going to do the whippy ski patrol. Now the whippy ski patrol down here is where your shoulder, I want to demonstrate that, because where your shoulders move up and down as you're kicking side to side, which is going to help to loosen up the back and the shoulders more effectively, as it also takes the colon out of the intestines, which come up here and kind of cross over, and the colon comes back down. It's going to help and with digestion elimination processes too. So we'll add that one. Okay, so we're done. Now let's go back. We want to save. These are all the movements that we have for this routine, and we're going to go ahead and save it. Changes are saved. Okay. And if you want to, we could have put, and still can, we can edit this, and you can go to your photo library and you can pick a photo and put it in there to help better identify what that particular routine is. But changes are saved. Okay, so let me see if it's automatically transferred yet to my iPhone. If not, I'll use that, but it will. And you go into your in order to find it now, you're going to go into your My Workouts. So at the bottom of the screen, go into My Workouts, and then since I did label it, custom workout is still loading in there. Changes saved. So we're just going to, we can start right from here. And okay, it hasn't quite loaded up yet on mine, so what we're going to do is we're just going to do the start button here, and you can follow along with me whether you have it on the app or not. We can still do it, but we're going to start with the baby bounce, and I'll turn up the music. Oh, and you already know that we can change the background, we can change the music. There's a, in fact, I'm going to do that right now. Okay, a couple more things to share. If it's going too slow, you can speed them up. If it's going too fast, you can slow them down. So you don't have to be right on, but it will at least, it will help you. I really don't want that music, so I'm going to go to my, where is it? It has to be saved first, and then you'll have an option. You can change the music. You can change the background too, but for tonight, so let's go ahead and save it again. And we're going to start. So we're going to start off for 30 seconds of just the gentle movement, the gentle baby bounce. So it's just like this. That music will kick in just 1 second. It's starting a little late for some. There we go. And then again, you're going to hear a beep, which will let us know what that we're doing the next movement. We'll eventually have a little icon up in the corner that will tell you ahead of time what that next movement's going to be. So you don't have to second guess or wonder. Okay, but it's a rock. So we're rocking left to right, real simple. But you want to feel yourself pushing down into the mat with the heel of your foot so that you can get some hip movement in the lower back as we're doing that. So real simple. And again, I like that you can do this watching TV. You can do it in the convenience of your home, while you travel, at the office. Okay, now we're just going to jog. Lift your knees high. And if you don't need the bar, you can swing your arms a little bit too. But if you want to use that bar, perfectly fine. You don't have to put a lot of weight on the bar. Just having it there to hold on to is what helps. Okay, now we're just going to gently bounce. We just got circulation pumping through the body. Now we're going to create or restore homeostasis again. And then we're going to go into the next movement. And breathe. You want to breathe deep and breathe out so you keep the body oxygenated. And the advantage of a Cellerciser is you're not jarring the body, so it's pumping that oxygen through all the tissue space of the body. So 6 of these. Jamba walk. Remember, we're going to be doing this for a little bit of time. So the key to this is to keep the back straight and keep the feet flat. You're pushing down into the mat. And you'll start to feel it, if you haven't yet, in the thighs, generally in the knees. The thighs are the biggest muscles that have the greatest demand for fuel. So they're going to start eating up glucose and sugars and burning the fuel. When we do repetitions of this, then it starts to burn off the white adipose tissue or the fat. So hopefully by now people are beginning to feel this. It's real simple. It's not the Jamba Run, it's more intense. But it's a good routine. Can work the thighs and the buttocks. Again, keeping your back straight. Now, we're just going to gently jump side to side with the ski patrol. And you can hold on to the bar. But as we're jumping side to side, we're working hips, thighs, and both sides of the knee. This is working lateral knee. There's very few exercises that will help you do that. Okay, now we're going to go back to the Jamba Run or walk. And we're going to do it for less time this time, but you should be feeling this. Again, we don't want to lean forward. Keep that back straight. That's what keeps the weight over the thighs. You can't do this on the ground, but you can on a Cellerciser. And you can regulate how much how far you sit down or how hard you push down into the mat. Very gentle, allowing us to catch our breath, but also helping to pump more circulation, priming those legs for the next movement. And you can begin to see the whole purpose. Okay, stomach tilted back a little bit. He's right on cue with me, that's pretty good. If you tilt your head back a little bit, it works underneath the neck too. Okay, now we're going to do the twist. You're twisting in two places, in the hip or waist, as well as in the hip socket area. It helps to loosen up all the muscles and nerves that wrap around that whole hip area. Okay, now we're going to do the whippy ski patrol. So it's more focused on lifting the shoulders up and down. Again, don't overdo it. If this is a little much for you to begin with, don't. For those who are more advanced, I know this is easy, but we're concerned about everybody, and we want everybody to have a good experience. And then it says, congratulations, you rock. So normally we would end up just with a baby bounce again. I could have added that into it, just to restore homeostasis or balance in the body. You begin to see you control the intensity, the amount of time, the effect of Cellercise. And there's several movements that we didn't do, and several more movements that we will be adding to the app. So those of you who are purchasing the app at this time, you're going to be locked into the price, which means it's a subscription. So if you like it and you feel good about us and you feel good about the app and it's helping you achieve results, which is what it was there for, you feel good about that. As we continue to add to the app over the years, your price will stay the same. But the price of the overall app may go up for other people that will be joining us. So I want to encourage you, if you think this is worthwhile, share it with those who can help support it as well as benefit from it. So thank you, Christine. Do you have any questions?
We did get a few that came in. Are we okay answering?
Sure, let's do it.
I went through the website to purchase the Rebounder, and the only form of payment was PayPal. Will you be offering it so I can pay by credit card?
Yeah, let me explain that. PayPal is the one that helps to host the program and the upgrades, and because we don't have the computer system to be able to do that as a subscription-based product, so we work through PayPal. That being said, it doesn't cost anything to set up a PayPal account, and once you set it up, you pay with your credit card. So you're not paying with PayPal, you're actually paying with your credit card. Eventually, we will have this app structured a little differently, but it's going to cost more at that point, because we have to pay a 30% commission to the people that, and you all know who they are, that will host our app. And yes, we will do that as an option as well.
Okay. Do you have any recommended work to rest times when doing the Jamba walk/run intervals?
Absolutely. Do the baby bounce, the health bounce, or the gentle rocking side to side, where you're still pumping circulation, getting rid of any potential lactic acid, increasing oxygen back to the muscles so that your routine is going to be more efficient. So yes, those two are in the app under the warm-ups, but if you're not using the app, then just do those health bounce, baby bounce. Two ways of doing it: lifting the heels up and down works the calf muscle, which can help reduce swelling, edema, varicose veins, improve circulation in the lower extremities. Or or bending at the knees. Oh, you can do that too. You stop moving up and down, but now you're working more of the thigh and the knee. Either one of those is fine, or just this one is very good as well.
Right. I have had chronic lower back pain, and about 2 weeks ago it tightened up on me after doing the back kick. Any idea why that might have happened, and what move/approach would you recommend to help loosen it?
Good. Great question. I can totally relate to that because I had back issues for years until I started Cellercising. And even then it took me a time to get through it. But the Cellerciser obviously exposed weaknesses. When you do the back kick, you want to start off very gently because you're going to be working those very muscles that may be weak right now. And if you irritate a nerve, those muscles can knot up. So starting off, when you're doing it, just do this. You're barely lifting your legs up. As you get stronger, then you start to lean a little bit further forward. And then gradually, as you become strong enough, you can kick out further and your legs can come up higher. But that's going to work the lower, right there in the middle of the back, or lower back, as well as the buttocks. So if you overdo it, because you don't have to, I tell people, don't work hard on the Cellerciser. Play on it. It'll work hard on you. As you get better, you'll be able to increase the intensity. But it's a natural process. So if that has happened, there's a few techniques. One is to lie down on the Cellerciser, and that's on a previous episode. So you can lie down and take all the vertical pressure off the back, have somebody stand over you. Now, I show you how to set it up to do that, to loosen up the muscles so the nerves aren't threatened, and so that we can start to create some space between the vertebral joints of the disc and the nerve and reduce that movement. I created that movement over 20 years ago, maybe longer, but that movement has helped so many people. It's a deep massage, not a surface massage. And so I encourage you to look at that. It's on our DVD, Cellercise the Ultimate Exercise, under Back Health, as well as in our in one of our previous Facebook live programs, which have been recorded and are available on YouTube. Okay, another one. Take the right, and to loosen up the back is you lean a little bit until you feel some stretch. Stop, hold the position. You don't have to overstretch, and then just cross the leg in front. And as you're gently stretching and crossing the leg in front, if you have any tightness in the lower back, you'll feel that. And then the same thing on the other side. And then just gently the leg crosses in front of the leg on each bounce. This one here will start to loosen it up as well. This one here is very gentle. But if you can get to the point where you can do, oh, there's a couple more that just came to mind. Okay, where you can lie down and have somebody do it for you. Oh, that has been miraculous in many people's lives. Another one, which is a little more advanced, and I don't know, is to bend down on the Cellerciser like this. You just kind of grab the frame and slowly stand up. And as you get to a point where you can bend down, the objective is you can lean a little bit to one leg and lift your foot up, and it's going to work the lower back and the hamstrings, the whole back. Do the same thing this way. Lean, open it up. You'll get to the point where you can stand straight up and just gently bouncing up and down, or leaning back a little bit. This one here also helps to loosen and stretch that lower back as well. And then just gently loosen up the back more. We'll have more exercises like that in upcoming episodes.
All right. Would you consider using the Cellerciser a comprehensive fitness workout plan, or do you need to supplement with other exercises?
That's a great question, and I love to answer that one. Cellercise does it all. You can do more if you want, but you don't need to. Here's why. Number one, weightlifting is limiting the effect only to the muscles doing the lifting. Cellercise is weight bearing. Now you put weight on a muscle, it doesn't care where the weight comes from. So whether you're lifting weight away from gravity or virtually increasing the weight of gravity, it's still weight on the cell. The cells expand and contract because of the increase of weight. The cell fortifies its membrane. The advantage of Cellercise is this on every single cell of your body, collectively, all together, all at the same time, over 100 times a minute. That's every muscle, bone, connective tissue, ligament, tendon, skin, collagen, protein fibers, everything. In addition to the pumping action for the lymphatic and circulatory systems, I don't know of anything, frankly, that's more comprehensive that's going to give you that kind of benefit. And that's why people have so much strength when they're done Cellercising. Isometric, it's an ice for toning. You can alter the angle of your body in different positions to focus the effect in different areas of the body. You can't run on the ground leaning back like this or kick your legs out on a treadmill, you know, to leverage weight. You're very limited in those modalities and nothing wrong with them. I'm not here to put them down. Enjoy them. What I'm saying is that Cellercise does so much more. And we've already shown through studies that it's very intense in burning calories. So, and you can read about those on our website. So we can alter the angle of our body in different positions. We can do different movements. I teach a lot of those different movements. If you want to do other exercises, you're welcome to, but Cellercise literally can be an isometric for toning from the inside out. So connective tissues that hold the internal organs in place help to tighten and tone as well. Isometric. Isotonic is weight bearing to help build up muscle mass and bone density, but without jar. It's calisthenic. You can target simply by doing different movements or altering or creating leverage in body parts or areas without limiting the rest of the body. It's always going to be involved. That's unique. It's aerobic for conditioning. I mean, you've got 75 trillion cells flexing over 100 times a minute. That's pretty intense. And most people, if you've ever been on a trampoline, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It takes a little bit of time to build up the mitochondria and the energy and the cardiovascular system to be able to handle that. And it's a flexibility program. So as you Cellercise, and people say it all the time, they notice they just start becoming more and more flexible. They're not working at it, it's a byproduct. So for me to sit here and put my hands on the mat, you know, I don't work on it, it works on me. That's the advantage of Cellercise. So literally, I really honestly believe everybody, every home needs to have a Cellerciser. We've built this product unlike any other type of mini trampoline on the market. I want to encourage everybody who uses rebounders to be part of this program. But I also want those of you who know about the Cellerciser to understand you've got a great unit. You've got a tridaptable spring. We're the only ones in the world that do it. And that is a patented spring design, as well as the steel that we use in our springs. They're unlike anything. They create resistance, but they don't stretch out like typical springs can. And as you hear, they can be very quiet. So those people who are out there touting and saying how squeaky they are, just there's a little care and maintenance involved, and it's not a big deal. I haven't even opened this yet, but somebody asked me what kind of oil we use. Once a year, I'll oil that. I haven't done it. I don't remember last time I did it, but you just take a drop of oil, and I demonstrate it on our website. If you go to cellercise.com/Cellerciser/care and maintenance, care and maintenance, or just go to our website and look under Cellerciser care and maintenance, and it'll show you exactly what I did to this one and what I do to Cellercisers to make them quiet. And over time, it takes a little bit of time, they become smoother and smoother and quieter and quieter. And that's breaking in your Cellerciser. Christine, any other?
One last question.
Sure.
I enjoy walking, but it often triggers tendonitis in my left ankle. Is there anything I can do on the Cellerciser to help?
Yeah. The neat thing about Cellercise is it does also expose weaknesses. So we start off easy because there's more movement on a Cellerciser than you are hitting a hard surface. When you're walking on a hard surface, the body is jarring. That jarring is going into the body, and it's causing stress or tension in different areas of the body. Now, Cellercise is going to open up the body. It's going to open up circulation. It's going to open up the joints. And so with that in mind, there's ligaments and tendons that may be tight. And when you start to move on to Cellerciser, they're going to be stretching, and they may not feel real comfortable to begin with. So we start off gently. And by standing flat-footed and rocking side to side, we have circulation, pumping, but very little movement in the ligaments and the tendons. As we become more flexible and we warm up, which I suggest we all need to do. The Cellercise is no better way to warm up if you're an athlete or you're involved with any athletic performance. Cellercise opens up every area of the body, opens up circulation, the muscles, the ligaments, of course, but the fascia as well. And so the body's more warmed up. Again, I honestly, truly don't believe there's anything as effective. But once we do that, then we start to do the twist. Now we're moving the foot. The heels are coming up and down a little bit. So now we're starting to work those tendons and those ligaments a little bit more so we can increase in flexibility. And you know, each one of these movements you may do for a period of time. Lifting the heels up and down, now we're going to work them even more. Running, where you're kind of kicking your feet up behind you and coming down, is going to be working them too. It's a little different than doing this. Doing this puts a little more weight or pressure on the tendons. Leaning forward and doing this way puts a little less stretch or movement. I hope that helps. Anything else?
That's it.
All right. Your job, if you choose to accept it, is to enjoy life. Enjoy the Cellerciser. Enjoy the app. And please keep sharing it with others and keep sharing with us. You're our motivation, and we really appreciate you. Thank you. We'll see you next week.